Hey guys, welcome. This is Chelsea from ChelsTeachesYoga.com. Thanks for coming to me for another YouTube video. So today in this video we're going to talk a lot about core. So core is so important, whether you're doing yoga, whether you're just working out at the gym. Just this grouping of muscles is not always hit enough, and it really needs to be, because it really acts as a girdle to the rest of our body. It creates support for us. It creates our posture. It protects all of our internal organs. And there are just so many muscles there all the way around the torso, and we just, like I said, don't get to hit them enough. So this video today is going to be all about yoga poses specifically that can target your core and you can add into your practice. Whether you're at the studio or at home, I would recommend trying to get these poses in as often as possible, because they're really going to help you get that core strength, helping you to build stability, build balance, and just protect your overall well-being, protect your spine, protect your pelvis. There's so much stuff going on in there. So this video is going to be great for that. So without further ado, meet me on your mat. Okay guys, so to get started, just find a comfortable place here on your mat. Just sitting down, grounding through the sit bones. You can do cross-legged or half lotus if you have a little more openness in the hips, bringing a foot into your opposite hip crease. Roll your shoulders back, down, away from your ears. And then just let the hands rest comfortably here on the tops of the knees, tops of the thighs. Lift tall through the crown of your head, and then just allow the eyes to just gently close. Taking a minute here before we move to just center ourselves, to bring a little focus to the body, a little focus to the breath. Even here, already starting to think about your core. Even though we're just sitting here, draw the belly button back to the spine. That helps us sit up a little taller, helps support the spine. Relax the muscles of your face, relax your jaw, the space between your eyebrows. And then begin to deepen your breath. Inhale and exhale through your nose. I'm trying to equalize the pace of both inhalation and of exhalation. Take 2 more breaths here, in and out through the nose. All right, and after that second exhale, go ahead and just gently open up your eyes. All right, to start, just bringing a little attention into this core, into your torso area. We're going to start with a little seated cat-cow. So you might be familiar with a regular cat-cow, but we're going to do it from our seat. So bring your hands to the fronts of the shins, fronts of the knees. Roll the shoulders back, and as you inhale, use this grip on your knees to kind of draw your heart, your chest forward as your elbows come back. So you're inhaling. And then exhaling, just like you're doing the cat in your kneeling pose, we're sending the spine way back, rounding everything out and bringing chin to the chest. Just starting to find that awareness in your center. Again, inhale, draw the heart forward, maybe even start to look up a bit. Exhale, round. 2 more of those. Inhale, bringing it forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Awesome. Bringing yourself back to center now. We'll just take a little twist here again, just to bring that awareness, that movement to the core, the organs. Relax the hands down by the sides of your hips, palms facing up. Keep the shoulders back as you inhale. Arms reach to the sky. And then exhale to twist over to your right side. So just bring your left hand to hook on the outside of your right knee. Right hand can come behind you for support, and gaze back over your right shoulder. Continue to sit up tall, just feeling that tension wringing out of the center of your body. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. Same thing, gaze back over the left shoulder. Keep the crown of your head reaching tall. Inhale, back to center, arms up. And then exhale, release down, leading with your heart, forward fold. Walk the hands out in front of you. Release the forehead down. All right, inhale, rise up one vertebrae at a time, roll the shoulders back, exhale. All right, now we're gonna really get working. Don't be afraid. This is gonna be maybe a little challenging, but know that you can always come down to the mat for child's pose for a little break if you need it. Also know that I'll offer some modifications here to kind of build up your strength as you're working through these poses. So to start out, now we are in hands and knees, your tabletop pose. Make sure knees are underneath your shoulders, or knees underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. Spread the fingertips wide, grounding down through each tip of your finger and the space between your thumb and your first finger. All right, on an inhale, step the right leg all the way back, extending behind you. All right, really engage the leg, press through the sole of the foot, grounding down through the hands, and make sure here already, before we move too much, draw the belly button back to the spine, pull the lower ribs in towards each other, engaging the core muscles already. Keep the crown of your head reaching forward, and then see if you can reach the left hand to the front. A modification for this would be to just drop the toes down, giving yourself a little extra support. Either way, keep drawing the belly in and continue to breathe. Lengthen the spine, squeeze belly button back to the back. One more inhale, exhale, release it down. All right, from here, get a little of the tension out, maybe just shift a little forward to back, some stretching in the wrists. And then coming back to center to move on to your other side. Inhale, reach just your left leg back behind you. Find some stability here first. Crown of your head reaches forward. Try not to crane the neck up. Rather, keep the spine long so the top of your head is reaching forward. All right, drawing the belly in, low ribs in. See if you can bring the right hand towards the front. Spinal balance. Don't worry if you wobble and fall, you can always come back in. And if you want to modify, just bring the left toes down to tap the ground, giving you a little extra support. Inhale, reach a little bit longer. Exhale, bring the hand and the knee back down. This time, maybe shift the hips a little from side to side instead of from front to back. And then coming back to that center positioning on your mat. We're gonna bring it back into a high plank. First high plank. I know everybody hates plank. It's okay. We're gonna work on it and we're gonna get strong. So making sure again that the wrists are under the shoulders, fingertips spread wide. Before we even step our legs back, I want you to tune into that space between your shoulder blades. A lot of times when people are in a tabletop or a plank pose, they'll kind of drop the chest down a little bit and kind of bring the shoulders to retract back. But what we want is actually the opposite here. So grounding through your palms, tune into that space between the shoulder blades, press up. So it's not so much that we're rounded here. It almost creates the sensation of rounding, but rather we're just spreading our shoulder blades apart behind us. This is gonna help create that stability in your plank. Some of it. You also need the core, but this is a good starting point. So, once you get here and you're puffing up that space between the shoulder blades, draw the belly button back to the spine. Begin to step your legs all the way back, high plank. All right. Already, this is really a lot of work before we've even moved too much. All right, so in your high plank, if you need a modification, this is for at any point during a yoga class or when you're doing a plank. If you're building up strength in the shoulders and the core, knees can drop down, untucking your toes. And then the spine is still long here. You're still creating that space between the shoulder blades. You're still hugging your belly in. You're just down on the knees so that your torso is a little diagonal. So this is great. We're gonna hold either plank on the knees or plank all the way up for 3 breaths. After your 3rd breath, take another deep inhale. Exhale, send your hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. All right. Once you come to your downward facing dog, just start to pedal out the heels a little bit. So just getting a little movement into your down dog, opening up the back of the body. Maybe even take the hips a little side to side. And then we're gonna roll through the core here. So we're basically going to be going from down dog to a high plank with a simple spinal roll. So to do this, we're going to inhale, lift our heels high. As you exhale, roll forward as if rolling through the spine one vertebrae at a time until shoulders stack over wrists, hips in line with shoulders. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, reverse the motion, rounding all the way back to down dog and sinking the heels. Now moving those, one breath per movement. So we're gonna inhale on the way forward, exhale on the way back. Inhale, lift the heels, roll forward. Exhale, roll back. Do 5 of those. And then go ahead and drop your knees. Take a child's pose. Release the shoulders a little bit. All right, slowly inhale, rise back up. Finding your tabletop position again. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're gonna find our tabletop pose, but we're gonna make it a little more challenging this time. So make sure before you move, you find that puffing up in that space between the shoulder blades. So stability in the shoulders, stability in the arms first, and then draw the belly in. Find that really tight core. So this is already without even doing setups or crunches or anything, just pulling the belly in actively is really working the core, which is a lot of what yoga poses are doing. So we're not doing a lot of necessarily active core movements, active core exercises, but you need to engage the core to really execute each of these poses effectively and then strengthen the core. So puff up the back of the shoulders, draw the belly button back to the spine, low ribs in, tuck your toes, hover the knees off the mat, just 2 to 3 inches. Breathe, keep the spine nice and long, try not to dip the hips down, so keep the tailbone slightly tucked, spine is long, crown of your head reaching, hold for 3 breaths. And drop it down. Oh, sit back onto the heels here for a moment, just kind of shake out the arms, shoulders are probably a little bit tired after that. Whew, all right, already feeling it, I don't know about you. All right, now we're gonna come back into our high plank and start to add a little bit of dynamic movement to really engage the core and the other parts of the core. Remember, our core goes all the way around, so we gotta try and hit it all. All right, so coming into your high plank, wrists under shoulders, engage the legs. Remember, option always to have the knees down. You can still do this with knees down. Just make sure you're straight. You're not sticking your booty up. There's no arch in the spine. Tuck the tailbone in. Keep the shoulders over the wrists. All right, big breath in, either knees down or up, high plank. On an inhale, hold. As you exhale, draw your right knee towards your right elbow and squeeze. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. So we're working the obliques, the side of the abs. Inhale back. Exhale, right knee. Inhale back. Exhale, left knee. 3 more each side. Make sure you're exhaling when you're drawing the knee in. Inhaling when you're taking the leg back. 1 more each side. Hold your high plank, big breath in. Exhale, hips lift up and back. Down dog. Maybe shake the head out a little. Walk it out if you need to. Move around, whatever you need. All right. From here, inhale, reach your right leg up behind you. Keep the hips nice and square. Keep pressing down into both hands. Big breath in. Exhale, bend your right knee, open up the hip. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, send the right foot forward between your hands. Go ahead and allow the left knee to come down to the mat, untuck the left toes. So another big part of your core here is that it moves all the way down into the pelvis. So there's a bunch of muscles down in the pelvis that are technically included in that surrounding core girdle. So getting into these low lunges, high lunges is gonna help kind of stretch that out. So when you come to your low lunge, Make sure your knee stacks directly over your ankle, ground down through your right big toes, and just stay here. Hands come down for that support, just allowing the hips to sink forward and down. All right, take a big breath in. As you exhale, reversing that stretch. So we're coming back into a runner's stretch now. Hips come back, straighten the right leg and flex the right toes. Now, if you're really tight in your hamstrings, you can just walk the hands back a little further, or even bring your hands to rest on the shin. If you have blocks, you could use blocks. But straighten it out, find that stretch. And then we're gonna walk it back even a little further. So this one's really hard, but it's really fun. And the more you do it, the stronger you'll get. So coming back to the fingertips here. So the fingertips are about in line with your knees, maybe slightly below it. Halfway lift. So when we halfway lift, we lengthen the spine, crown of your head reaches forward, we lift the chest up off the leg, and then exhale, start to engage all those ab muscles. So draw the low belly in, draw the belly button back to the spine, and we're gonna lift the right foot to hover. Whew, that's a hard one. Big breath in, oh, exhale, release. Whew, shake it out a little. Do one more on this side. All right, inhale, start halfway lift. Find the length in the spine. Exhale, engage the core, pull it all in, lift the heel. You might barely get it off, and that's okay. Oh, you got it. Inhale, oh, exhale, release. Shake it out. Whew. All right, send the foot back forward as you breathe in. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your back knee, plant the palms, step back, down dog. Take a big breath in and out. And we'll move to the other side. Inhale, left leg up, keeping the hips square, keeping even in both hands. Exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip open. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale, step the left foot forward between your hands, getting that 90-degree angle, knee over ankle, and then drop the right knee to the mat, untuck the right toes. And just hanging out here in supported low lunge. Send the hips forward and down, stretch them out. Try to keep the shoulders back and together so you're not really hunching forward. Shoulders back. Big breath in. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the leg, and fold, runner's stretch. All right, inhale, walk the hands back to about the knee, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, pull the core in super tight. You may even find there's a slight rounding sensation in your spine when you do this. And then lift the left heel up to hover. Squeeze, breathe, hold it up, you got it. Oh, inhale, exhale, release. Oh, shake it out. Ooh, got a little Charlie horse on that side. All right. Inhale one more time, halfway lift. Exhale, draw those core muscles in, low ribs in, lift the left leg. Whew. Squeeze, you got it. One more inhale. Oh, exhale, release, shake it out. All right, sending the leg all the way back forward, coming to the foot. Inhale, exhale, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step the left foot back, downward facing dog. All right, moving back into the obliques now. Inhale, right leg lifts up. We're gonna find a bit of dynamic movement. Exhale, draw the right knee towards your right elbow, squeeze, press the ground away. Inhale, take it all the way back, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee crosses underneath the body towards your left elbow, squeeze and twist. Inhale, we're gonna do it a couple more times each way. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, squeeze. Inhale up. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Press the ground away. Inhale up. Exhale, right knee crosses under to left elbow. Press the ground away. One more on this side. Inhale up. Exhale, release, down dog. Walk it out, moving to the other side. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Press up. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale to cross underneath, over. Inhale up. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Squeeze the belly in. This is hitting the obliques really hard. 2 more times on this side. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale, down dog. Okay, that deserves a break. Knees down wide, child's pose. All right, gently start to make your way back up to tabletop. All right, we're gonna move into a forearm tabletop. So same thing. You want, instead of coming to the hands, we're coming to the forearms, but we still wanna be stacked up. So elbows are stacked underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And then we're gonna do that same tucking and hovering. So make sure first, same thing as when we were in regular tabletop, press into your forearms to create that little bit of space between the shoulder blades, and then tuck your toes, hover the knees. Again, something that people want to do is curl their tailbone up. Don't do that. Draw it in. When you draw it in, you're engaging the core even more. Spine strong. Whew. Keep hovering, big breath in. Exhale, release the legs long, forearm plank, bringing hips in line with shoulders. All right, we're gonna do a little bit more in the obliques here. So inhale through center. On your exhale, rotate the right hips down to hover to the ground. Inhale up to center. Exhale, left hips hover. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. 3 more times each side. Breathe. You can do this from the knees as well. One more time each side. Coming back to center as you breathe in. Exhale, lift the hips, walk the feet forward, dolphin pose. All right, this is really great. Obviously, this is gonna be good for the back and the shoulders, but you still need to use your core quite a bit to stabilize here. So again, to make sure you're not arching low back, draw your tailbone in, nice flat back. Press the ground away from you using your forearms. Hug the low ribs in. Take it a little more challenging. Lift the right leg up. Lower, switch it out. Keep the core engaged. Lower, drop down to the knees. Ooh. All right, sitting up onto the hips now. We'll take a little stretch and then we're gonna move on to a couple back poses, and then we'll cool down and we'll be done. You guys are doing great. So take a second, get water if you need it. Coming to a seat on your heels, inhale, arms up. Exhale, release your hands behind you for a shoulder stretch. So maybe grab onto opposite elbows here. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Now, when you're doing this, you're doing a slight back bend. So since we're bending a little bit back, that can cause a lot of tension in the space in the lower back. So something you do to combat that and make it safe is draw the belly up and in, low ribs in, engage the core. All right, so find that. Lift the chest. With the core engaged, exhale, fold over the legs. Forehead to the ground. Inhale, rise up to seated. Release the arms, shake them out. All right, so we're gonna come down to our bellies now. All right, let's take just a little chest stretch first, kind of get warmed up here. So take your hands straight out to the sides, fingertips coming to the ground, and your elbows are making little 90-degree angles in the arms. So as you inhale, we'll peel the chest up off the mat using the strength of the fingertips. Exhale, roll the left shoulder and gaze towards the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch it out. Roll right shoulder and gaze towards the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, release, roll it down. Okay. So we're gonna take a couple of back bending poses, which when you're on your belly are really working the back of your core. So one of the things I really want you to keep in mind when you're doing these poses is keeping your legs engaged, keeping your belly engaged. So even though it seems like we might be using a lot of butt strength to maybe lift the legs or lift the back, keep pulling the core really tight. So low ribs in towards each other, belly button back to the spine. And that's gonna help you strengthen these back muscles, okay? So first pose, we're gonna bring the hands straight back behind us. Forehead is center. All right, we're gonna just do the top half of the body basically. So in order to do this, I want you to press the tops of your feet into the mat. Really engage down into the ground. Engage the quadriceps by lifting your kneecaps. And then inhale, lift the chest up off the ground, reach the right fingertips back, hold. Should already feel that working those muscles in the back of your body. Draw the elbows towards each other and keep the legs engaged. Inner thighs are squeezing towards each other, arms squeezing towards each other, and don't forget to breathe. Make sure you're not craning your neck up here. Gaze down slightly in front of you towards the front of your mat. Whew. Keep pressing the legs into the ground. Maybe lift a little higher on your next inhale. Belly button back towards the spine. Exhale, release and fold. All right, bring your hands out in front of you, forehead to the backs of the hands. Bend the knees, and windshield wiper them right to left. All right, we're gonna progress. So you can do that exact same pose again. That's like a good place to kind of build up the strength. If you felt like maybe you needed a little bit more of a challenge, or if you just wanna try the next level up, this is what we're gonna do. So this time we're gonna lift top and bottom body. Arms come back, forehead to center. Before you do anything, press the tops of the feet into the mat, bring the inner thighs together. Inhale, lifts your chest, same thing, and this time bring the legs up as well, but squeeze the inner thighs together. Elbows coming towards each other behind you, low ribs pulling in, engage. Lift, 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 breathe. Whole body is basically engaged here. Targeting the back core. Hold for 2 more breaths. You got it. And exhale, release. Make that little pillow with your hands. And then just shift the hips side to side. Shake them out. All right, next one. You can stick with either of those first 2. If they're working for you, you're still really working the core. If you feel like you needed more, if you just want to try the next level up, we're gonna lift top and bottom body with the arms extended out in front of us this time. So start by setting up, instead of your arms back this time, bring your arms forward, palms planted. I think some people kind of call this a Superman because you look like Superman or whatever. But again, the steps are gonna be the same. So inner thighs together, press tops of the feet into your mat, squeeze the legs nice and tight. Inhale, lift the chest, reach the arms forward, lift the legs. Whew. Spine long, draw the belly in, nice and tight, ribs pulling in towards each other. Breathe. If you feel pain in the low back, you can come down a little bit, build up the strength, but you got it. Make sure you can breathe. 2 more breaths here. And lower down. Oh. Hands to forehead to the hands, bend the knees one last time, windshield wiper legs back and forth. All right, let's go ahead and stretch out the core now. So hands come underneath your shoulders, elbows in, press yourself up and back, walk your knees together underneath you, send the hips back. This is a seed pose, so it's similar to a child's pose, but we're gonna walk the hands back and let the forehead rest on the ground. Really just let your shoulders round down towards the ground. 3 breaths. Sitting back onto the heels, inhale, roll slowly up. And then we're gonna stretch the front of the core. So staying here on your knees, you're just going to sit up tall, tuck your toes first here, so you're sitting onto the heels, but you're up a little bit. And then hands come back, just back behind you. This might be enough for you. Just hang out here, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, getting a good stretch on the front side of your body. If you feel like you need more, you can walk your hands back a little bit further, depending on how that feels for you. Maybe drop the head back. 3 breaths. All right, to come up, bring the chin to the chest first. Slowly walk the hands back in. Once you get back up, untuck the toes, sit back onto the heels. All right, go ahead and roll to either hip, coming down to a seated position again. Just gonna take a few more cool down stretches. That's it, we're good. We're done with all the hard stuff in the core. So just cooling down, finding a butterfly pose, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Grab hold of the fronts of your shins or the fronts of your ankles. And then inhale, lift the crown of your head, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, begin to fold forward. Don't pull yourself whenever you feel that edge when it's a little too tight. Just back off, hang out. If you want to go a little bit further and that's available in your body, you can release hands out in front of you and maybe walk it all the way down. Inhale, release up. All right, and then just a quick little hip opener, little stretch, because we did kind of do that little hip flexor thing where we lifted our leg. So finding Gomukhasana or shoelace pose, stack your knees right on top of left or whatever, we'll do both sides. So don't worry if your knees aren't totally stacked up, mine definitely don't stack, but do try to stay grounded through the sit bones here. If you need less in the hips, bring your heels in a little bit closer to you. If you feel like you need a deeper stretch, walk the heels out a little bit further, okay? So whatever works for you. Then taking hands out to the side, we're gonna fold again, but start with a lift. So inhale, lift the crown of the head, lift the chest. Exhale, walk yourself forward, leading with the heart, fold over the legs. Inhale, come up. Lean back onto the hands, kick the legs out, switch it. Left knee on top, and you might feel a little bit different from one side to the other. You can see I'm even less stacked on this side because I have a pretty tight hip on this side. So sitting up nice and tall, ground through the sit bones. Same thing, hands to your sides first. Inhale to find that length. Exhale, release, fold forward. Inhale, walk it up. And exhale, leaning back. We're gonna extend the legs all the way out onto your mat, straight. Shake them out a little bit. We're gonna take just a little really quick twist to kind of end things off. So bending the right knee, step the right foot over your left leg. Right hand comes behind you. Inhale, left arm reaches. Exhale, either wrap the left arm around the front of your shin and gaze over your right side. If you have a little more space, don't push it, but if you want, you can hook the left elbow to the outside of the right knee instead. Either way. Sit up tall. And go ahead, release. Both legs straight, shake them out. Other side, bend the left knee, step the left foot over. Left hand comes back as you inhale, right arm up. Exhale, either to wrap the arm around the shin or hook elbow. Gaze back. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Shake it out. All right. Engage your legs here, engage the inner thighs, flex the feet, reach the hands forward as you inhale. Exhale, lower with control. So don't just draw it back, really take your time, control it all the way down to the mat. Relax the hands down by the sides of your hips, release the feet out to the sides. Maybe kind of shake the legs out, shake the hips out a little bit. Allowing the eyes to gently close, the rest of your face soft. And just allow your body to become heavy as you rest here for Shavasana. Try to remain here for at least 10 breaths. If you can do longer, I'd encourage it, but at least 10 full breaths in and out. And then start to find some movement again. Allow the body to wake back up. Wiggle out fingers, toes, roll out wrists, ankles. And then inhale to extend the arms up overhead, full body stretch, which should feel super good on the core after all that work we did. And then exhale to bend your knees and gently roll over onto your side. Slowly pressing yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Allow your eyes to remain gently closed as you bring the palms together in front of your heart with the thumbs resting on your chest. Take a moment to be at peace, to feel acceptance and gratitude of your body, of your practice, refraining from any sort of words of judgment or criticism. On an inhale, maybe bring thumb tips up to the center of your forehead, your third eye. And the light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.